6 months ago, we decided to ditch the factory standard pin box on our Brinkley RV and replace it with this GEN-Y Gooseneck hitch.
And being the gluttons for punishment that we are, we decided to install this bad boy ourselves.
And of course, we documented the entire thing.
Let me see.
We're almost perfect. Slow.
What is that saying? Work smarter, not harder? That saying's never been more fitting.
The install actually went really well, and now we've put almost 7,000 miles on this hitch. So today we're giving you our honest thoughts and sharing some of our real world testing from different towing and maneuvering situations with the Gooseneck.
So we just got to Alaska. We're in Tok, Alaska, and we're heading down to Chitina today. We're going to take you guys along with us on a travel day. There's about 200 miles that we have to travel today, and we have no idea how these roads are about to be. We have heard that they can be extremely rough, so it should be exciting.
So we have the GEN-Y Executive Gooseneck hitch with the snap latch coupler.
And the 5-inch offset ball for the puck system in the truck.
Because we have a Mega Cab Ram, so...
Short bed.
Yes.
Yep, Mega Cab Ram short bed, and it just gives us a little bit of extra clearance from the cab when we're turning. So we're getting ready to hitch up the truck to the RV. It's a pretty simple thing with this truck specifically because it has a backup camera that points into the bed of the truck. So I can see the ball that the trailer has to hitch to. I can even zoom in on it for when I get close to make sure it's perfect. If you don't have a backup camera, I've seen people a lot of times they'll add like a stick that they attach somehow to the ball with a tennis ball on top of it. That way it sticks up high enough for you to see it outside the bed of the truck. And once the RV hitch hits the tennis ball, you know it's lined up and you can just lower the RV down onto the ball.
And it's usually my job to do, you know, the actual hitching up, which is just pushing this button and letting the hitch come down onto the ball. It is nice because even if the ball is off a little bit, it's like slanted in the coupler, so it'll still usually get hitched up, and you know it's hitched up whenever the snap latch coupler flips forward.
So a couple things to know about the hitch when you order it. It does not come with your safety chains that have to attach to your truck. It also does not come with the safety chain attachments that go into the puck system of your truck. Any ball type hitch has to have safety chains. If it's a fifth wheel hitch, it does not. When you order your chains, make sure the chains are rated for your RV or trailer that you're going to be towing. You don't want them underrated. You can probably have them overrated, it wouldn't matter too much. Also, another thing that some people know and some people don't, maybe you do, maybe you don't want your chains twisted. A lot of times people will twist their chains to shorten them so they're not dragging, but that weakens them. Like they're not as strong as they're rated for once you twist them. So make sure they're not twisted, and you have both these components ordered with the hitch so you're ready for your travel day.
He probably just crawled under there. You're gonna get run over. You gotta relocate him. We just moved one of our aux blocks and there was a little mouse under it.
Come on.
There you go. Oh. There you go. Poor little guy. He's definitely gonna probably died, but we tried. Oh, can you go under this tire or something? Okay, maybe you'll have a chance. Bye, little mouse. The weather does not know if it wants to be sunny or rainy today, which has been the story of our lives basically the entire way up to Alaska. But if you've been around on our channel a while, you probably know that GEN-Y is one of our very few channel sponsors because, you know, spoiler alert, we do really love the hitch. But we had some things we wanted to test out first before giving our full official review. So we have been collecting video footage of different scenarios over the past 6 months and are gonna share them with you. It's pretty interesting.
So we had 3 concerns when switching to this hitch. Our first concern was if we'd have enough space between the front cap of the RV and the cab of the truck. Because if you don't and you have a short turn, you can connect the two, and it has the potential of busting your back window and also denting the cab of your truck in a very bad spot on the corner of it, which is kind of a difficult fix.
I actually saw this happen one time when we were at a boondocking spot. A guy was backing his fifth wheel in kind of next to us, and I felt so sorry for him, but the two made that connection and it just busted out his entire back window. So it's definitely a real thing that can happen.
Typically, we try not to make 90-degree turns. It's not so great for your wheels on the trailer and the axles or even wheel bearings. When you are turning that sharp, your RV is just dragging a set of your wheels, and that's a lot of pressure on the wheels in the direction that they shouldn't be going. So we try not to turn that sharp. When we were back in Moab, we did put it to the test. We turned that sharp just to see how sharp we could get in case we did end up in a situation, and we felt like it was better to figure it out before we had to know. And yeah, we got a little footage of that.
We're at a boondocking spot here in Moab and about to be leaving, and it looks like a nice spot to test out our turning radius with the GEN-Y Hitch, because we've got to kind of circle out of this cul-de-sac and head back to the road. Still good, got plenty of room. The ground is a little uneven, but not super uneven, but it's a pretty classic boondocking type example here. You still got a good 8 inches of clearance, and we could turn even sharper if we needed to. All right, pause there. I just want to zoom back to get the full picture of our angles here. I'd say it's like a not quite 90, yeah. You got a little bit of space though if you wanted to keep turning a little bit sharper. Hold on, you're closing in. I mean, we still got, I guess, 4 inches. I just get nervous. It would be embarrassing to crush our truck trying to do a test. I don't know, that's a pretty good angle there. All right, almost 90. Yeah, probably about 75. Show it from this direction so you can kind of see how the truck looks compared to the RV. I mean, honestly, we're not really ever trying to turn at a 90-degree angle because it's not great for the axles on the fifth wheel, right? So this is probably as tight as we would want to ever turn anyways. I guess you can just kind of keep coming forward. Keep turning though a little bit so we can get that full angle, like if you had to complete that angle. Oh, that's true. Okay, better straighten back out so we don't hit the fire pit. All right. So really we've found that we can turn as pretty much as sharp as we would want to turn, right? Like with inches to spare.
Yeah, I think we could get, it wasn't quite 90 degrees. We didn't push it that far, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, and like you said, we're not gonna usually be trying to turn 90. I think we might've coulda, but anyways, we can make pretty sharp turns without worrying about hitting it. But remember, we do have the offset ball, so we don't know if you can do the same thing with the regular ball. I don't know. Some people have told us that they don't even need the offset ball, but
I've seen a lot of people with short bed trucks don't even get the offset. I don't know. We just boondocking some sketchy places too much for not to have the extra space.
better safe than sorry when it comes to Craig's truck, because
That's right.
he's gonna cry if he knocks the glass back window out or dents the side of it.
Yeah, of course.
Our second concern with switching to the Gooseneck Hitch is if it would actually be good for boondocking. We talked to a lot of people that love the Hitch, but I just never know if people have taken it to the places that we have taken our RV, because you guys know we take it probably to some places that we shouldn't. So we did put it to the ultimate test accidentally when we ended up in that boondocking spot on that river in Idaho, where we went down that really uneven, rutted out, totally not big rig friendly road to get to the spot. It's a beautiful spot though. And here's our proof of testing that out. Okay, so the first challenge is gonna be turning around. I don't think that'll be much of a challenge. We have a pretty decent amount of space here. There's a loop at the end, but we're gonna try not to use that because there's some people down there and we don't wanna disturb them. And I don't know if how tight it'll actually be. Then the second challenge is getting back up that potholed hill. This turn actually ended up being quite a bit tighter than we thought because there was a ditch on the other side of the road that we didn't want to drive too far into. Now, I'm outside checking all sides of the truck and RV to make sure we've got good clearance all around. This is always a good idea. No matter how much you feel like you've got all the room in the world, you should always have somebody out there spotting if you're able to. Craig decided to back up a bit to make that turn just a little bit tighter, and as you can see, as he goes over that hill, it starts to lean more towards one side, closing that gap just a little bit. But we've still got several inches to play between the RV and the truck bed rails, as well as the RV and the cab of the truck. We're just taking it slow, making sure everything's good. It does get a little bit tight here. I made Craig stop and go real slow as he was coming back up out of that ditch. And then we made it. It was actually a really great test of tight turns in boondocking spots. All right, we're turned around. Now we gotta go to the hill. We've got walkie-talkies because there's zero service out here, so we can't use our cell phones. Now, this part was more of a test of Craig's driving abilities than anything else, as he had to try to dodge every big pothole and mud hole and ditch on his way back up the hill. But the Hitch handled it like a champ as we bobbed and weaved all the way up. So, what would you say? Do you think the Gooseneck Hitch is good for boondocking?
I think so. I think it also has a bunch of pros with it for switching or whatever. For example, now when we're boondocking, we can fit our water bladder in the back of the truck without having it like kind of just bunched up between the hitch and the tailgate. It'll lay flat in there, which is great. I can actually utilize a 60-gallon bladder now. Another pro that's really great for boondocking is the clearance that we have between the bed rails and the front cap of the RV. So if the RV's leaning like an opposite direction of the truck, we got a lot more space in there before it makes contact with one another.
The primary reason we switched to the GEN-Y Gooseneck Hitch was to get all that truck bed space back. Craig was tired of, I don't really know, what got in your head that you just all of a sudden wanted that space back? Because you decided at the end of last year, you were like, I'm getting the Gooseneck Hitch.
Well, we've done a bunch of projects, like especially with the old RV, where we needed the bed of the truck and just didn't have it like carrying wood or whatever. The bladder, it didn't fit. Or using the truck just as a truck, because if you put anything back there with the other hitch, because you had to keep the sides greased, it would get grease on everything else. So I don't know, that just got kind of old, and finally just made the switch to the GEN-Y. Oh, and Craig forgot about the other thing. That other hitch we had was so heavy. He said, actually, and quote, "This thing is never coming out of the back of the truck." And then all of a sudden, this past January, it did. I always said that because there was nobody to help me put it in the back of the truck.
And it was like 300 pounds. So it definitely helped with our payload.
The toy was just inside sitting on the couch the whole time.
I didn't know. He came in, he was like, I almost died trying to get that in the back of the truck. I said, why didn't you tell me? I could have helped. I could have helped. Y'all know I help. I help out. I got these muscles. We did also hear from a lot of folks that the GEN-Y Hitch just tows really, really well, which we will talk a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. The frost heaves are really frost heaving today. We're traveling with Kaylin and Joseph from open roading, if you don't know, throughout our Alaska trip. And we just went over a big frost heave and watched their ladder bounce down. It's dangling. We had to pull over so they could reattach it a little bit better. I mean, it didn't fall off, but it was close. Roads are a little crazy today.
So while we're going over this rough road, I got to thinking that we got a lot of rough roads ahead of us for this Alaska journey we're on. And I just want all you guys to see every bit of it with us. So make sure you click that subscribe button, because I just know we're gonna have an adventure going to Alaska and then all the way back. That's, holy smokes. I didn't even think about it all the way back until I just said that. So it's like double the amount of miles that I was even anticipating in my head just then, which This is so great. This guy's moving though. We had a bunch of potholes and this guy's trucking along. So click the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the video.
I really do wish that there was a way to once you got to Alaska, if you could just teleport back. And the journey there is fun, but I think we're both dreading the journey back a little bit.
Yeah, you already seen everything.
Yeah, it's like, you did it. You're like, yeah, you did it. And then you're like, oh, I gotta go all the way back.
All the way back. But in all seriousness, it does really help our channel to grow. So we thank you for watching, and make sure you click the subscribe button. Thank you.
I was looking ahead in the milepost and I saw this advertisement for the hub of Alaska. So we're gonna stop there and get fuel, possibly ice cream.
Maybe. I don't know. I might go to sleep.
They've got coffee, ice cream, hot sandwiches. Oh, this one's for Craig. Fresh pastries.
See?
At the hub.
So it's $4.49 here, which is almost $1 more than what we paid in tow. So good thing we went too low.
So let's talk a little bit about getting fuel with the RV, which we all know can be a pain sometimes because you got to make sure you actually fit. We usually will try to do like truck stops just because we know they're big rig friendly. But when there's not a plethora of truck stops around, we will use Google Satellite View and Street View to make sure that we're gonna fit in the area. This is kind of like a truck stop, I guess, for Alaska. We haven't seen a real truck stop in quite some time. But you always wanna make sure that you're checking the canopy heights, because the last thing you wanna do is go under a canopy and take your AC off at a gas station, because that would be embarrassing. Okay, you be good here. We're gonna leave the truck running because it's kind of warm. Go find ourselves some snacks and then tell you about our last test we've done with the hitch. Okay, I got a mango smoothie.
I think this is iced coffee. Maybe it's like blended or something.
Blended,
I don't know.
a coffee smoothie? I'm not sure. Is it good?
It's good though.
Okay, our last thing that we wanted to make sure of is, does the hitch tow smoothly? Because a lot of people are worried that gooseneck hitches will chuck, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we haven't really had any since our break-in period, and we had very minimum even then. The only time we really felt it was going over bridges with like control joints or expansion joints in them. It's the only time we ever really felt it. And
they have, the GEN-Y Goosenecks have this torsion flex technology. It's patented by GEN-Y. It's a thing that really sets them apart. And it basically helps the hitch flex and take some of that, I guess, the force from going over bumps and things like that.
Yeah. And they have a video where they explain all of that a whole lot better than we are, where they have done some testing and videoed it. It's a really good video, and it I don't know, you definitely need to watch it.
I'll link it in our description below. I think the thing that really showed us how smooth the ride actually was coming up the Alcan, because there were some bumps we went over. Yeah. We were traveling with friends actually, and they radioed over to be like, did that feel as bad as it looked? Because our back of our RV was going like that. But we had literally just got done saying, oh, that wasn't too bad. So it definitely...
It helps smooth it out kind of. So none of it's super jarring, but I don't know. It might
really be a little too smooth, because then you don't know how bad the bumps actually are.
I feel like you can just fly over them.
But we got some footage of it, and we'll show you that. I'm sure you've heard how bad the Alaska highway can be, and we definitely got the opportunity to see how well our hitch could handle rough and bumpy roads, especially testing out that torsion flex technology. Now, there are frost heaves and potholes like nobody's business along some stretches of this road. and you can really see the torsion flex in action as we go over some of those bumps. Honestly, it seemed to absorb a lot of it because we were constantly expecting to feel a much rougher ride than we ended up experiencing inside of the truck. All right, the hub was a success, and now we're on our last hour push down to our hopefully little free boondocking roadside spot in Chitna. I'm just really hoping that these spots aren't all filled up, because we drove past like the only RV park, which I guess would have been the backup, and it looked pretty full too, so fingers crossed. It's been a bit of a struggle finding boondocking spots up here, a little bit, for big rigs. It's because we have a big rig, you know.
Very, very jumpy.
What in the world is this? It's like a big hill, and it looks like the roads are just falling apart.
Are we on the road to McCarthy?
No. That's just straight up.
Truck don't like that one.
Look at those views over there you get. Chitna. This is our turn. O'Brien Creek. This is an extremely narrow road. I saw on satellite that there was double yellow lines. It looked like a 2-lane road, but it's literally like a half a lane on each side. I don't even know. I hope nobody comes. It's a little stressful.
You can't even fit a car right there on that side.
I don't know. This is a little stressful.
So it is pretty much just completely full. I'm not even sure how we're turning around to get out of here.
Good thing we can turn really tight with our GEN-Y hitch, because I am nervous. Oh gosh.
So it looks like a lot of space here, but it is not.
But don't worry, it's not just us stuck here. It's these guys too.
Yep, trying to find a place. I don't know why this is so busy.
It's very busy. We can hopefully both turn around, maybe.
The issue right now is I don't know if there's enough space from that tree line to this tree line for the RV to like fit. Because if the RV can't fit perpendicular, then you can't turn around.
That's true. Jess is walking it for us, I think.
Oh, he's counting his paces.
60 feet.
There we go, 60 feet.
60 feet. Okay, the plan is we pull forward. Kaylin and Joseph can hopefully do a U-turn, and then we can use the spot where they were to back up and do our own U-turn.
Just a giant turnaround area down there.
Was there anybody on it?
And 2 cars in it.
Can the 2 of us fit?
Yeah, but I don't know why nobody else is parked there is the issue. I don't know, like maybe it's just for boat trailers or something.
Well, we got out of our little predicament.
Yeah, hopefully we're not driving to another one though.
Hopefully. Okay, so we found this spot to park. The mosquitoes are like, I don't even know how to describe it right now.
Can't live like this, guys.
We just had to hurry up and spray ourselves down with mosquito spray.
This is honestly the worst I've ever seen mosquitoes in my life. This is so bad.
So on that note, let's show you how quick and easy it is to unhitch, because we're gonna do this as fast as humanly possible. Okay, first chalk the rig first.
So the new hitch is even easier. Well, this is a new hitch, but they've changed the setup to where how you unlatch it. This metal handle is actually attached to it now, and it just attaches up here. So you just unhook it, I believe, and then pull, and it stays attached. Where mine comes off, so I installed this hook here, and mine just rides up here on that hook and on the cleat. But for me to unhook mine, I just wrap it around. Ooh. Bear with me, guys. I'm getting ate up right now by mosquitoes.
Oh my gosh, you can see them all.
Oh.
Mosquitoes are very distracting. And then that just stays open. You don't have to hold it open. And then I can come around here and just lift the legs up and it'll pop right off the ball.
So sometimes it gets stuck on the ball. It just has tension either pulling forward or from when I was backing in. A lot of times you can just shake the truck a little bit. Actually, it's already came off.
Oh, nice.
So we're good.
And then the snap latch just stays open for whenever you want to hitch back up again. Of course, you basically start the process that you saw at the beginning of the video all over again, and it just pops back down. How fast did we do it? How fast did we get unhitched? Now Craig just has to pull forward. And I could... Oh my gosh, we gotta get inside. Whew, we made it inside. I feel like we just survived a
Dang apocalypse.
treacherous something or another.
That is a zombie apocalypse, but mosquito edition.
But all right, we did it. We got it.
Kind of.
Kinda.
We went as fast as we could, and still like 50 mosquitoes, I think, came in.
And we're not where we intended to be today, but we're somewhere. But overall, today's video was a review of the GEN-Y Hitch. So you saw our 3 main concerns, our tests for all of them. Overall, I think the GEN-Y Gooseneck Hitch comes out way on top. I know Craig has been recommending it to everybody who will listen to him about it.
And I've said it before, I think I said it when we installed it, that we had planned on getting this hitch no matter what. We just happened to pitch a pitch to GEN-Y, and they ended up working with us. So I was all for it either way. And after owning it, I think it's the way to go. If you have not bought a hitch yet, look into them. They end up being around the same cost anyways as a fifth wheel hitch.
If you're starting fresh, getting your first RV, definitely. And just to be able to save that weight in the back of your truck too, payload capacity. Overall, it's a great upgrade if you're just wanting that bed space back. Definitely is great having the bed space back and being able to use a truck like a truck. If you are going to get it, make sure you use our code WILDRVLife. That's going to save you 15%, which is a really good deal. And GEN-Y in general is a really cool company. Like I said, we'll link their videos below where they did the tests and stuff. But we got a chance to see their factory. They make their entire hitch in-house. They fabricate all of the parts and the metal, and if you are ever up in Goshen, Indiana, do a factory tour because it was really cool.
It is really cool. It's like a modern day blacksmithing operation. I don't even know what to call it. It's very cool. Very
innovative in the hitch industry. So cool company, really cool product. We love it. If you have a GEN-Y hitch, let us know in the comments below what you think, because everybody we talked to has just loved it. If you've got any more questions too, leave them below and we'll answer them. We tried to answer all of the ones we've gotten so far, but if you got more, let us know. And we thank you for joining us this week. It's been a fun one.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.